Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer League. We've got a great race for you tonight on this wonderful Saturday night. We have saltyphry from Waffle House Drive-Thru going up against EmoSaru from Yutang Clan. I'm Drossi. I'm here with Phylian, who many of you may remember from last season. How are you doing tonight?
Drossi, there's video games on my computer. I'm just excited, okay? I'm just excited. Nah, that's me. I'm just in a constant state of excitement. It's spoiler week. That means it's just execution battles. It's confused routing. It's low percent strats because teammates are yelling at each other about why didn't you route me in for enough heart containers? I would have screen transitioned once for a blue mail upgrade. How can you do this to me? Hypothetically speaking, of course. My team was fine.
I'm sure. But yes, we've already seen some interesting routing connections and routing mishaps over the course of this week, so anything can happen tonight. And I'm sure anything will happen tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just this afternoon we saw, team members from both teams end up skipping the same chest and having to go back to it. So that's the kind of shenanigans and tomfoolery I'm looking for here.
Yeah, and last night I saw, a different race where both runners, their pilots just kind of took them to a double dip that wasn't necessary. So, you never know.
I do know we have boots in Link's house. I think Emo's going to be sad about that when she gets that message from her teammate. Hey,
and I think she just
hang
did.
On, go back to Link's house.
Unfortunately, that's going to put her 20 seconds behind off the bat.
Nah, it's fine. You just get led into Uncle Strat from this, or oh no, she is going to go south route to the village, and just get there that way.
Yeah, Fry is grabbing some money. Now, this could be a time-killing mechanism to give D-Demolisher, his pilot, some time to read the log. And likewise, Emo taking that route to the south to the village also gives Solsky some time to read her log.
Yeah, early bombs in sync. I do like to see that. It takes some of the load off the runners, or off the pilots in the opening minute of, oh my gosh, where do I find you bombs for the back of blindside, for the back of the well? It's just not a worry. And there's a blue mail already in the library for Emo. I have to imagine Salty's going to get that as well. It's just too good.
So the runners don't have to have that blue mail argument with their pilots that you were talking about.
You're right. Instead, we get the alternate version of the argument, which is, why did you send me a whole screen transition away for the red mail? How bad at this game do you think I am? Seriously, I would have been fine.
And pilots or no pilots, this is getting to be Stackerico here.
We got, a pod key so far?
And, gloves.
Oh, yeah, gloves.
And
okay, red mail. Never mind.
And a real live heart container in Blind's hut. Now that desert small key is interesting because you'd only pull that in spoiler if you need something from right side of desert.
Yeah, I expect that's an early play of I'm trying to figure out everything. Just grab that. I expect it'll be important later.
I can just hear Solsky saying to Emo there, no, you don't need to bomb the back. So yeah, saltyphry's getting his gloves now. And then the question is, where will they be off to after this?
We have a couple bombs. enough to open some buildings, not enough to take out the mini Moldorm cave.
We should also add that since the runner's pilots have the spoiler logs, we're not going to see any map checks. Our tracker Konotyron has also downloaded the spoiler log and put in the various pendants and crystals.
Pendant TR, but we've seen 2 small key pickups for that already.
Yeah, that'll get us to Laser Bridge, so wonder if something's on Laser Bridge.
Wouldn't be unheard of. As well as Pendant Pod and Pendant Thieves Town. Actually, if those are going to be 2 of your pendants, good to know that this is a spoiler race.
Hey, so did you notice what that glove was locking that saltyphry just picked up?
Drossi, I play this game all the time, and my glove turns from gray to yellow for some reason. Why is that? Also, suddenly the game calls it a mitt. What's the difference?
It's like alchemy, you know?
Okay, what was the equivalent exchange we made for the Titan's mitt?
I don't know, it's kind of like lead to gold, right? Wow, that's interesting. I guess Solsky just checked and there is nothing in Mini Moldorm game, which is kind of unusual.
Let's just get out of there. Sword in the first chest of the castle. Means that saltyphry can take that on. Maybe the problem was just Emo wasn't in a position to finish the... I'm not sure. Because Salty's going in there.
Oh, maybe she didn't want to do it with 3 bombs on her?
That seems more likely. Emo, you have boots. You can use the boots on the wall as saves a bomb. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's fine because you have the bombs there, but yeah. There's the real magic in Mini Moldorm Cave. The flippers.
Absolutely. And hey, with a Moon Pearl and, Fire Rod or Bombos, we could be in Ice Palace before we know it.
No, that's fine. I'm good.
Everyone loves
Thanks for asking, but I'm good.
4-heart Fighter Sword Ice Palace.
I'm good. There's no hammer right now, so we don't need to go to Ice Palace. Double heart container in the waterfall is so nice. Since it appears to be what they need on the way to the Zora ledge.
Yeah, and what will be on that ledge? Oh!
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They do need that.
Oh no, this is interesting. Emo took out the blue guard with bombs so that she could get a head start on the room. And she's continuing through escape to the Boomerang and maybe Zelda Cell chests. But Salty bailed on this. I wonder what Emo knows.
Yeah, well, we'll find out, and one of them has wasted time because either Emo's going in for something she doesn't need or Salty's going to have to make a double dip.
Cannon's Tower small key is...
That's
a long way to go for a GT small key.
Yeah, I mean, you can always just...
You have my
pick
attention.
them up under pots. But yeah, assuming there's nothing in GT Basement, I think that probably took a little bit longer than it would to just get the one under the pot to the left of Torch Room.
Yeah, no question. I guess put a pin in that for now, and we'll see what happens with it. Emo's, of course, doing Mini Moldorm Cave now, and eventually going to be on that same track with Moon Pearl into the Dark World.
And Salty's giving us our first dungeon dip, and it is a pendant dungeon.
we do not even have the big key for this, so something's in the front four. Hey, you know.
That's a good one.
I like swords.
I like big boots, but that's another team.
Yeah, that is all we're getting here. We're just dipping in for the Master Sword. I like it.
So now we're going into Skullwoods without a fire rod.
Or a small key. So Salty's probably expecting to save and quit out of here. But with a flute, yeah, of course you're going to save and quit. Okay.
So within the first 10 minutes, we have everything we need for fast transportation.
I want a mirror also. But yeah, this is pretty good.
Okay, fair enough.
Pretty fast start. And it's interesting because that flute gives us a bit, but not a ton. We can get to Death Mountain without much. We can get to Mire area without much.
Though there are only 2 checks we can do in Mire area because we don't have the mirror and we don't have any medallions.
Exactly. And actually it looks like Salty is going back into the Dark World. Meanwhile, I think Emo and Silsky might have the wrong chest here in Skullwoods. Or they're just grabbing a castle tower key because they know they'll need that later.
Yeah, there could be something in that second chest in Castle Tower.
Emo sticking around in Skullwoods pulls... Oh! Skullwood's small key, so she can break right back out of this dungeon.
That's interesting, because usually the logic wouldn't require that small key to be there in non-entrance.
Yeah. Huh, okay. I guess, you know, can happen sometime. I'm surprised it's there, but alright.
Blue moon.
Alright. I think that means Emo may be able to save a bit of time not coming back here. So she's skipping Thieves Town and the Master Sword there for now.
Yeah, what's saltyphry done in the Dark World, or has he just been spending this entire time running over to Catfish since he hit the portal?
Pretty much that. He did go into the C-shaped house and pick up a green goo in a bottle.
Okay, so Emo did just grab that lamp, which is nice.
Yeah, if nothing else, it makes it faster and easier to get to the second chest in Aga Tower, but it is also the first fire source we've seen for any torches that these runners might have to deal with.
Meanwhile, Fry... Now that's interesting, because clearly he picked up the bombos and he fluted to 6, so he was going to try to get into Mire. I wonder if they need something on the left side of Mire, and
you know,
Fry was
that's my thought right now, and that's what a lamp does for you, is it gets you that left side Mire access. That may be a little bit of a problem for their team. That said, Salty kind of has to... I think this is one of those seeds that's just going to make you do a ton of trips into the dark world and back out until you get the mirror. As Emo also got the Thieves Town Big Key from Hype Cave. Probably putting off the sword until she can get something she needs from the back half there.
Yeah, right. She did just pull that big key. Interesting. So I'm curious what's going to be in the back of Thieves Town now, and if saltyphry's going to have to make a second dip there. Clearly, this is some twisted logic, and props to both of their pilots for being able to make any sort of sense of it under a huge amount of pressure.
Yeah, the opening sections of the spoiler log races are so tricky because you're trying to manage, like, which dungeons do I have to visit first? Where are my dependencies actually sitting? Great, I got the flute and the boots, but how much time does that actually save me in overworld travel? Because you still have to avoid, going through the CAC portal too many times. And sometimes it just comes down to how many dungeon dips can I avoid, or how many dungeons can I avoid double dipping? And that's a hard thing to judge on the fly.
But this is also interesting, though, that, saltyphry went back for that Thieves Town Big Key before going into Mire.
Yeah, I think that's a case of, well, I just got the lamp, and I'm at Stumpy already, so I should probably grab that right now while I'm here.
Oh, that makes sense. I forgot that, right, he was originally going back for the lamp.
Yeah, so the way he's gone back for that lamp really points to something good being on left side Mire.
And then the question is it just in Compass Chest, or are we going to see that lovely 17-second cutscene?
If I have to watch two runners do that cutscene with a lamp again today, I'm just going to make some mumbling noises. That's
again?
all. That's all. Yeah, it happened this afternoon. I'll just grumble about it, that's it. Nothing awful.
What was there this afternoon?
A forced lamp usage of the cutscene chest in Misery Mire to get the fire rod. It was awful.
It was the fire rod.
Oh yeah, sorry, it was fire rod. Everyone was angry. No one was happy.
Got it. Yes, that was the piece of the puzzle I was missing.
Oh, hey, look, Emo was on her way to Pod there, but couldn't get in without money, and then had trouble opening the grave. I think we've all been there.
But she's now got more than enough to pay Kiki.
And we still have to do this awful cutscene chest in Mire.
I mean, that's how I did it as a kid. I mean, who knew that you could fire rod through moving blocks?
Drosy, just because you did something as a kid does not mean that people trying to race this game as quickly as possible should be doing it. In fact, I think it's the opposite.
Well, that was a mirror, so at least the rest of the seed gets faster, right?
Yeah, that is good to have right now.
But saltyphry is continuing. He doesn't have the big key or the cane, so I don't think he's gonna go to Vitreous here, but he also didn't mirror out.
Yeah, they got that nice Mire small key early on in the run, which meant they could do left side before doing right side, which is going to save you a little bit of time. And
well, at least Swamp's a crystal, so we know they'll have to go in there eventually, but apparently something in the big chest.
Yeah, that's a spicy bit of cliffhanger we're just going to have to deal with for probably quite a long time, honestly. We're just gonna wait.
And Cape's an interesting grab too, because you don't know, okay, is it just a quality of life improvement because the seat is generally low percent in pilot, or is there something on Bumper Ledge?
You know, I feel at this point like it's probably just a quality of life thing. Even with red mail, you don't want to take your chances in a spoiler race.
There's Desert Loaded, and yet another dungeon we can't actually finish without the big key.
Bow, though. Bow. We got the bow.
Yes, I know. I was saying it's loaded with the bow.
That's so great.
But we also didn't use the key to get to the right side. You know that, Desert Small key they both pulled?
Oh yeah, that was probably just in case we need it later kind of thing.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
So this is an interesting divergence we're seeing. Emo's gone all the way over to Palace of Darkness. She's going to hammer you up here. Meanwhile, saltyphry's picked up the bow and the hammer, the two things you really need to finish off the dungeon, along with the big key wherever it's hiding. Although, as I say that, hey, Pod's a pendant. We're not actually beating it.
I was gonna say, let's hope we don't need to do that, because we don't need to do it if this is a pet seed or if Helmet King has something.
Well, Emo did just get the Pod big key. And also the hook shot from the Dark Maze, which is the more important thing.
Yes, they have a lot of keys they still need, but they're really racking up the items. We will need a fire rod and a cane of Samaria, but we're getting close to item go mode.
There's a Swamp Small in Hammer Peg right there. So that requires me to go to checkerboard first.
And with Emo having shown us where the hook shot is, we now know where all the items are we'll need to get through Swamp.
That's right.
And I guess saltyphry's gonna show us why they both went and grabbed that Thieves' Town big key.
Yeah.
Hera big key is another interesting pickup, because I'm sure both of these runners can Hera pot.
Yeah. More big keys, this time from Meyer. In Paradox Cave. I hate that. I hate that.
And 2 compasses. Won't get lost in the dungeon now. But yeah, I'm trying to puzzle this all out. Clearly something somewhere back here. I guess we'll see if saltyphry bombs the floor in the attic. And on Emo's side, I guess if she can pull Cane of Samaria somewhere here on Dark Death Mountain, she can do Misery Mire all in one go.
Yeah, that could work out. Misery Mire's deceptive. It takes very little time to get into. But then once you actually enter the dungeon, there's a fair amount of stuff to get through before you actually get to the useful and important stuff. So it's a more costly double dip than you'd think at first glance.
Yeah, that second room is always like, you mean I have to go through this again? But either Blind or Sahasrara has something, because Salty did bomb that floor.
There's a bottle for Emo to match the one Salty picked up in C-shaped hut. Sorry, I just got thrown there. Tempered sword in Blind Cell, but we still picked up the Maiden.
So I'm gonna guess Emo does Thieves Town in one go and gets both of those sword upgrades.
Yeah.
But she is first going to Meyer to get that mirror.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
And if she wants, she can do Desert while she's here. She has the big key.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff she can put together, including getting the hammer so she can also do hammer pegs for the Swamp Small while she's in the area. The problem is she has no magic. And that's what we needed, the Eastern Big Key on blind. Saltyphry correctly saving and quitting out of there so as to avoid waiting through the entire Crystal Catch cutscene.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, Emo's fluting to 3. I think her best move is probably just do Thieves Town and get the magic refill in there on the way. Oh, right. No, she has the Titan's Mitts. What's she doing? No, you can't go in that way. You were doing the right thing when you lifted the block before.
Yeah, no, she wants the magic from the bonk tree, which is fine.
Oh!
That's good. That's good and
Got it.
correct. It's just annoying to be doing. The correct thing was to pick it up in Super Bunny, but of course, that's hard to keep a tab on at the time because you got so many things you're trying to work out as a runner, including, like, you hate to do it, but sometimes you just have to validate your pilot's logic because sometimes they forget that you haven't actually picked up something. It's a nightmare mode. I hate it. It's wonderful. Can we do more of it?
So where had Saltyphry picked up his magic to do? I guess he got a couple of little bits of magic at the beginning when he did Uncle. And that's, if he didn't use any magic, that was just enough to do Bombos.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, we see a huge divergence in the pod play here. Saltyphry didn't get a pod key from, I think it was Hype Cave, and Emo picked that one up, which means he has to go through the right side of the dungeon to be able to get to the back with things like the Meyer Big Key. Emo got to just go straight through the front door.
Yeah, and I think we will be seeing a swamp play soon from Saltyphry. Now you were saying about picking up keys in advance. Emo didn't pick up that Meyer small key that Fry did.
Yeah. Yeah, it just means she has to do the right side. I'd like to lodge a complaint against both of these pilots. They're going in far too differing directions, making it hard for us poor commentators and viewers to follow what's going on.
Hey, I don't even know what happened 5 seconds ago.
Well, that one seems like it's on your end.
I mean, was Emo even in Meyer 5 seconds ago? Was Saltyphry even in Pod 5 seconds ago? We may never know.
Saltyphry was very definitely doing Pod 5 seconds ago. He spent way longer than that just pause buffering.
Huh, Emo just pulled another Pod small key, and now she goes around...
Yeah, no, that's fine. The Swamp Big makes sense. The Pod small and the Pod Big key. I'm looking hard.
There was that mirror.
Oh.
Mirror,
yeah, that's
shiny.
That's a problem.
Especially because since we don't know where the book is, not only does the mirror hard lock the hammer, it could very well be locking that bow.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. She's going back there. It'll be fine. Saltyphry. What's Saltyphry doing? He's doing great things. He is running through Eastern and checking no chests. Looks like he's just beelining the boss because, hey, get the crystal while you're in the neighborhood.
So I have a random question, just looking at the runners and teams here. And you, as our resident Canadian, might be able to answer it. Do they actually have Waffle House in Canada?
Look, Drosy, Canada's really big.
So,
look,
you're
Canada's really big.
For all you know, far, far away on the other side of the country, there may be Waffle Houses.
I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of Waffle House in Canada. Because it's really big.
I mean, it's about the same size as the US, including Alaska. We just keep Alaska tucked nicely away, so we don't look as big.
Okay. That's an interesting approach. I don't know.
Okay, Matt, the third teammate of Waffle House Drive-Thru, is confirming no Waffle Houses near him.
Hey, speaking of Waffle House, Saltyphry is going to keep us in suspense about it because a dead rock got in his way.
Yeah, and red mail or not, those cabbages give 1 heart of damage.
Okay. Salty and Demolisher are playing right now, so they can't hear me. But I know Matt's here, so he's listening. Matt, if you're gonna name your team Waffle House Drive-Thru, you guys got to go for the Waffle House Drive-Thru. It is the coolest strat in the game. Yes, it's hard to pull off, but you have to at least make the attempt. Anyways, video games.
Now I'm thinking back to that nice Waffle House that, you know, was across the street from the hotel at AGDQ.
Ah, video games. Video games. Look. Emo's going to be able to beat Desert in one go. That's good.
Whoa, Twitch does replies in chat now? What is the world coming to?
I don't know. Seems nice. Gotta be clear who we're talking to.
Game, as you were saying.
Yeah. You know, Emo at least picked up the bow before going to Land Molas, as far as I know.
So
I hope she did.
She did, which means we're going to see vanilla strats here.
Yes. This will be exciting. It's always fun. So permit me a soapbox here. There's a thing new players at this game do, and I understand why they do it, because they want to just hit the landmos as much as possible. But you got to be careful. When you hit it with an arrow, you have to hold off with your sword for a second, or your sword damage is going to overwrite the arrow. And I see a lot of people make that mistake. Emo's not making it here. She's doing it right. She knows what she's about in this game. But it's a teachable moment, and I'd be remiss if I didn't let it pass.
Wow, that is good information. I did not even know that.
Actually, there's a 50-50 chance Emo's the one who taught me that trick, so. And here we see the reason for the cape.
Who's the other 50%? Solsky?
Kanzion. Yeah, now we see the reason for the cape as Saltyphry is doing Spike Cave. And puts that fairy to good use.
Yeah, Emo couldn't readily do it because even with a fairy, it's not quite enough hearts. And there's that King of Somalia.
She also didn't. Emo couldn't do it because she didn't have the hammer right now.
Oh, right.
Fairy-wise, health-wise, with a fairy, she was totally fine. She just needed the hammer from the Mire area to go to Spike Cave to get the thing to beat Meyer.
I always forget you need the hammer to get into Spike Cave.
I think the real question is, next week in Mystery Week, how many people are going to get entrance, not have a glove when they try to do Spike Cave, get to the end and fail to lift the rock? What's the over-under on that? And everyone who does it has my sympathies.
I'm gonna say 2. I'll be a bit conservative there, but yeah, it should happen. What do you think? Am I being too pessimistic, too optimistic?
My answer to every numeric question is at least 2, so I'm happy with that answer.
Saltyphry not grabbing that mushroom, so that might have just been kind of a pickup by Emo to give Solsky some time to read the log.
It's so she can fake powder the anti-fairies at the top of GT.
That too, depending where the powder is.
Alright, finally, 25 minutes after her opponent went here, Emo is going to go to Thieves Town and do the whole thing in one dip. This works out. It's a long time to run around with just a fighter's sword, not that it's caused any problems.
Yeah, there are just so many ways to route this seed. I think overall, Waffle House have been a bit more efficient in routing the seed than Yutang Clan, but until they converge, it's going to be hard to know for sure.
Yeah, I think Yutang Clan's just had a couple of blunders early on, including... Ooh! There's a fire rod in the swamp big chest.
So they very definitely needed that, that big key.
But yeah, with Emo walking halfway to Pod and then realizing she didn't have money, and the extra trip into Meyer for the mirror,
and
Yutang's got a bit of extra work.
Saltyphry has no magic, and without being able to use the Cane of Samaria, I guess he didn't want to do Bomb Diver down, and if you don't want anything out of those chests anyway, it doesn't save too much time.
Yeah, Diver down's barely saving you.
But yes, magic reminded me, I totally forgot until I just saw that Emo got that nice half magic out of Desert, and Salty did not when he went through. And it really wasn't much of a detour, so that could make a difference later, potentially, if they need to do something that uses a lot of magic.
I can't think what would, except, well, Spike Cave.
I mean, depends how many fire rod shots you want on Cold Stare.
Not that many when you have Tempered Sword. I think the real big thing is it makes some of the gauntlet go faster if you have the double magic and you're just not worried about conserving things.
Yeah, it's much more likely that you can do a Fire Rod Landmo coming out of the gauntlet. So, near simultaneous boss kills there. I forget, did we actually get anything out of Eastern, or was it just the crystal?
Just the crystal, as far as I remember. That's certainly a frame for Emo's stream to freeze on.
Yeah.
Oh, Ooh, Salty pulling an entire ferry from the waterfall.
That's interesting. I mean, he doesn't have enough money to buy potions, so that might be it, that he wanted a safety to go into Ice Palace with.
Yeah, I want to say you don't need that safety when you have red mail, but things can go wrong, and as I'm a fan of saying this week, it is better to be safe than to run Ice Palace a second time.
Oh, I know. I think we've all been there where we take a death to cold spare and, you know, want to do anything except go back through Ice Palace, back to Cold Stare.
The other side of that might also be just, if these runners are watching, or the pilots are watching the other runner, they might have a sense of, okay, you're a full crystal up. Not that crystals on their own are an actual indicative measurement of placement, but they might have said, you know what, you're a crystal up. I think you have the buffer time to grab it and make sure things stay fine.
Now, meanwhile, Emo's going straight through Swamp.
Oh, saltyphry is doing icebreaker. He can do it. Can he do it? Can he do it? He can. Wonderful.
Very nice.
Noticing some doubt in the chat about whether or not he had learned that trick for this race.
And for those of you who might want to learn it yourselves, I can recommend a great video by another Canadian, Super Taylor, who explains it really clearly, and that's how I learned it and I got it the first time.
There's something not in the scope of breaking through the wall that saltyphry forgot, which is, if you're coming in here without any keys, you need that key to get through the spike room door. Ugh. That's a little dicey. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes,
he's through.
Especially in Key Sanity, where, there might not be any other small keys on the right side.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, now I'm really puzzled about Emo taking that detour for that first GT key she picked up, because if there's another one there, you really only need one going in.
Yeah, it might have just been an early race, grab that while I figure out what's up, sort of thing. Grabbing the waterfall room is definitely faster than killing the EmoSaru at the top of the dungeon. Ooh, saltyphry going for the poke strat on Cold Stare and missing it, letting the puffs get out all over the room. Not that he's in any danger, but it does slow down the rest of the fight a bit.
Yeah, with red mail, he can still take 2 puffs to the face, and he's not going to.
Yeah, it's fine. It just slows you down a bit. And we're up to 8 hearts on that side already. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, this is one of the better seeds for safeties that I've seen in Spoiler Week.
Yeah, between red mail before you finish the village and that amazing double heart container setup that we got in the waterfall ferry, they've never really been in any danger.
And the half magic doesn't hurt either.
No, it doesn't.
So, I think we're gonna see simultaneous Skull Woods plays on both sides.
We're not! I was so excited!
Oh.
No, alas.
Had to be difficult, saltyphry, didn't you?
Where's Salty going? Maybe Graveyard Ledge is something. Surprise! Okay, yeah. I buy it. I accept it.
That's worth it. You know, we've gotten 2 uses out of Cape.
It's, if you haven't fought Vidi yet, it's probably worth the time to make the trek over here. Just between Vidi and Ganon.
And then he hasn't done Landmo either, though with the Fire Rod, he's probably just going to do Fire Rod Landmo anyway.
There is also a nice way that things play out. You know, one of the challenges of Spoiler Week, in addition to managing your money, is trying to manage your arrow count. Because in normal rando, you're opening enough chests that you get the arrows along the way. Ooh, that's a pretty darn quick Mothula fight from Emo, only having 1 spike disappear.
There was a Mothula there?
Yeah, it disappeared at the same time a single spike did. Emo rates Mothula fights by how many spikes have disappeared. You lose a full letter grade every time a spike vanishes, so that's up there.
Well, you just made it sound like a B.
Yeah, which is better than most people can put up most of the time.
Also true.
It looks like she's gonna go get her Kana Samaria.
But she didn't want the silvers while she was in the area.
Yeah. Sorry, this is an audio-only interface. We don't have webcams in the commentary booth. None of you can see my complete lack of surprise face at Emo's getting silver arrows. You know what? It might not even be an EmoSaru thing. I would be equally unsurprised if Solsky knew where the silver arrows were and said nothing.
I mean, you know, it's not even just about Ganon. She still hasn't done Armos Knights either, as well as Vitreous.
No, but that's fine. She's got to do... Oh, you're right. You're right. Arrows won't matter there. She also has to get back to the whole eastern area so that she can...
She's marching out of Spike Cave.
Ganon's Tower Big Key. Yeah. I mean, yes, it is super fun to throw the cape on and do this. I'm just not totally sure where she's going.
Wow. Tower of Hera, I guess?
I guess typically you do this right on your way into GT, but okay.
Yeah, is there maybe some key we need? I mean, I think we're pretty set on keys. She does have the Eastern Palace big key. I know it's not on her tracker, but she did take down Blind and therefore got it. Yeah, other than the GT big key, I don't even know what other items we need.
Oh, she's got the GT big key.
Oh, okay.
No, she doesn't. Never mind. I can't read.
But then, yeah, as you were saying, like, what's in here that would be reason to do Hera now rather than right before GT?
Magic read? I don't know.
She's going down for something.
Okay, so we did need... Well, okay. We didn't need the Hera big key, but it got us an extra sword.
She'd rather have butter sword than silvers. I mean, this is Emo we're talking about. I can believe that. I just don't know too many people who would rather have butter sword silverless than tempered sword silvers.
Yeah, that wouldn't be her, but okay. Okay. Oh, no spooky saltyphry.
Or maybe Solsky was just trolling her.
Yeah, okay, I buy that. I 100% buy that. Alright. Saltyphry is going to have a super easy Vidi fight here. which is good. Conserves arrows so that he's got plenty when he eventually gets to GT.
And he'll mirror and have a super easy Landmo fight right after this.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, he'll have quite a lead as they start to converge on all the stuff they've done.
Yeah, this is really coming out in Waffle House drive-thru's favor. It's funny, the only crystals they overlap on are Swamp and Skull at this point. Just complete disparity in the dungeons these runners are actually beating.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. And sorry, what else did we get out of pod here?
I think she is back here to get the Ganon's Tower big key.
Oh, right. But yeah, I was just looking at the last race between these two teams. There wound up being an 8-minute difference in the end, and given where the runners are at now, unfortunately, there may be an 8-minute difference between these two races as well.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me here. Salty gets the bonk off the top wall for the right altitude, and 3 very clean silver arrow shots. That's how you do that fight, folks. Every time. So I guess that all that's left on left side team's run now is that mountain climb and the quick run a Tower of Hera. I was gonna launch into a philosophical digression about do you pick up the butter sword here, but saltyphry skipped the Tower of Hera big key, so that's just not a decision.
Yeah. So he'll probably just go straight up Hera. You know, what does that take? A minute? Maybe a minute and a half?
Longer than you'd think, but still pretty darn quick. Although he needs he needs bombs to do Herapot. You know, good call to make sure to buy those before you get to the dungeon if you don't know the bombless setups.
Yeah, if you know the bombless Herapot, it's definitely the fastest way to do it, but it's also pretty tricky. And meanwhile, Emo's still got Ice and Mire to go through.
Now, she won't have a ton of arrows for the Vidi fight. That's not a huge problem, since Buttersword Cape just kind of trivializes that entire experience.
Yeah, just dash across a few times. It's almost as fast as Silver's. Okay, I'm going to get a headache from saltyphry's menuing there.
I mean, let me put it this way. It sounds more annoying when it happens really quickly, but it also means he's pause buffering more efficiently if he does it faster and faster and faster.
Very true, and he got it on the first try. So I don't believe Saltyphry picked up any small keys, but he'll probably just, run to the basement, grab that first key, and then head upstairs.
Hmm.
And Saltyphry opening up GT as Emo goes downstairs in Mire.
I missed it. Did she set up Spooky?
I also missed it. We're about to find out.
Chat's saying she set it up. Fire Rod's telling me she set it up. Executing Spooky tells me she set it up.
I'm still not convinced.
We just saw it again. It's all good. Don't worry.
So yes, that took. I mean, that might have even been slightly faster than Silver's, though the big eyeball's a bit slower.
Smart play though to actually keep an eye on her arrow count and make sure she's not spending too many, so that she gets to use them when she gets to the Mimic's rooms. But it may not, actually will not make a difference at this point. Saltyphry is well and truly into the gauntlet.
Yeah,
using some Fire Rod where he needs to.
Based on how Saltyphry is tearing through, Emo will be lucky to be in the Mimic room by the time Saltyphry finishes. Oh, but without that half magic, he's doing silver strats on Landmo and missed a shot. And he's now down to 2 silvers, so we could have an interesting Ganon fight if he doesn't remember to restock here. But he does. I forget when it was, whether it was earlier this week or during SG Live, but I saw a runner who did in fact misplan and went into Ganon with no arrows, even though they had silvers.
Emo. There we go. There we go.
Who doesn't get it, though? So here's Moldorm 2.
That was Moldorm 2.
So Emo will at least get her 7th crystal around the time Saltyphry drops into Ganon.
So, yeah. 8 minutes-ish.
Yeah, Death Mountain climb plus GT climb. That does sound like maybe 7, but yeah, that order of magnitude.
Ooh. Again, being a little too nice with that pattern, making it harder to get the double hit since both hits, or all the hits, just land at the same time.
Getting his bonk count up, certainly. Too bad we're not playing Fantasy League this season, or, you know, some of his owners would be disappointed in the bonk count.
Listen, I thought the devs put that cutscene in there just so that players could run up their bonk count for the Fantasy League.
That is some amazing foresight, but...
They were forward-thinking devs.
You know, given how brilliant the devs of this game were, I can totally believe it. I've heard the code for this game described as, you know, it being written by two people who hated each other and were constantly trying to one-up each other.
It's okay. From what I've heard, that's how most of the co-op seats have gone this week, so... Alright. Hey look, saltyphry got through the first two phases of Ganon and is not allowed to beat phase 3 of... There we go. And with silver arrows... 1, 2. Yes! That's how you do it. You trap Ganon right in the middle of the room. You don't worry about your torch glitch, you just set him up to get him stuck there, hit him twice. That's how you play the game, folks. Watch saltyphry for more Link to the Past tips.
And he also deserves some GGs, you know.
Oh yeah, that too, get them in chat.
And that's an official time of 1 hour 11 seconds. And now we get to watch the GT climb all over again on Emo's side. Along with the only in key sanity pendant dungeon music in GT.
I am always envious of how Emo can do the strat in that spike room. You have to be so precise with your timing of the dash to actually get the dash to fire and get you across the spikes in time. And if you do it wrong...
Wait a minute. How did she despawn the arrows there under that pot?
Did she mimic clip in the first room?
No, she got through the first room the normal way.
Okay, well, you know, it can still happen even if you killed the mimics. If you got too many sprites lying on the ground from enemy drops and then beams or lasers still in the air, just too many sprites on the screen are going to prevent those from spawning.
Okay, wow, I've just never seen that despawn, and yeah.
If you mimic clip, it happens all the time.
Right, but if you mimic clip, you're usually not looking for arrows, is the thing.
Depends. Hey, I see people in here.
Yes, I believe we have D-Demolisher and saltyphry, in fact.
When did I get here? Who dragged me here? I was just talking with my teammate, and now there's nothing except people.
Hi.
Hi!
GG's!
Thank you. That went pretty well overall. Pretty happy with that.
I've never seen the mimic clip north through the wall like that, so it follows you into the room with the big key door. Ah, this video game, kids. This video game.
I mean, you gotta love, you know, some nice swag moves when the outcome's already been determined, so nothing to lose. But yes, well, why don't you guys take us through your routing on that seed, which must have been a heck of a thing to route.
Looking through all of that, I was like, what a silly seed this is. And I think the only mistake that I did was forgetting to tell Salty to go get the lamp from Stumpy to get the mirror in the big chest.
Yeah, I was seeing the flute to Meyer, and I was thinking, oh, what's he gonna do there without the lamp? Because I had looked at the log also and knew where the mirror was.
Yeah, I was like, I was also doing that. I was like, Oh, you don't have the lamp. Hey, we need that. Go back.
But you corrected that pretty quickly.
Yeah, thankfully he wasn't inside when we did this. Like, oh no.
What's that music?
I think that's Salty's music playing through his mic.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
Kind of eerie.
Yeah.
The stank music just playing through the background. Let's see, what else was there? Swords were an interesting locations. I didn't think that we needed to do Thieves Town any more than we did, so that's why I had Salty go in there just to get the Master Sword. The siege was just weird.
Yeah, it was hard for us to keep track of everything that was going on because, you know, there was massive routing divergence, and it's like, well, what did they get where? But yeah, like, for example, Yutang grabbed an extra pod small key before going in there, while saltyphry had to take the long way around, but the long way around enabled you guys to pick up the GT big key.
Yeah, I routed that in with that bow. Because we only needed the one small key just to get the hook shot, and we didn't need a complete pod either.
So that works out pretty well in that way. We really only needed that one. Pod small keys are always one of those things where it can be really iffy in terms of how many you need. Nice when you don't have to beat the dungeon though, that's for sure. That and with Turtle Rock as a pendant, like that makes things a lot more smoother in the end.
Yeah, though you guys both picked up some Turtle Rock keys at the outset, so we were thinking there might be something in there, but...
Yeah, that's one of those things where early on, it's kind of hard to know, so if they're in your path, you kind of just pick them up, just in case, usually.
Especially at the beginning of the game when you don't know what everything that you need is just like, hey, there's some keys here, pick those up, we might need those.
So are you giving us, like...
Emo. Emo.
She's still doing it.
Emo.
She beat Moldorm and then hovered anyway.
Emo.
I mean, do what you need to.
But yeah, saltyphry, I was wondering if you were giving us like a best of slideshow of the seed.
Was my stream upping frames, or what was going on?
Well, we're currently seeing a, you know, throwback to earlier in the seed when you were in Sanctuary with...
Yeah, so, I don't know. So I was streaming a live stream to demo there, and I guess when I closed the stream in Discord, it accidentally closed the one that I had the emulator up, so that I reopened it, and this is the last save file I have, unfortunately, on it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I kind of screwed up. I'm hoping it doesn't cause any issues, but I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
I mean, at least we saw you play end to end.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll have to get some we'll get some admins on that. Some people that some decision. I don't know what to say. But yeah, that's basically exactly what happened. Is I had the stream up so demo could see it in Discord, and I guess when I closed it at the end to come here, it closed my actual emulator as well.
Admins? I don't see any admins.
Ow. Alright, we can figure it out afterwards. But yeah, this is what we got right now.
Yeah,
This is literally the last point in time I saved. I have one crystal. I checked that, so... I guess since I had the flute in here, I didn't do a whole lot of saving and quitting, which sucks.
Hey, look, Epo's fighting Ganon.
Yay.
Just don't get hit much. Wait, no, she's got red mail. She's fine.
Yeah, the red mail being super early is always nice.
Yeah, that was really nice in this. That makes everything feel a lot better. The fairies in the bottle are nice as well. The Spike Cave is that one location that's always awkward in these seeds, because you're always at so low hearts. I actually probably should have grabbed the half magic in Desert as well, but I didn't know about it until the second time I was going there, and by that point in time I had a green blue in a bottle as well, so it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. But that would have definitely been nice for Spike Cave, though. That's for sure.
So actually, fun fact about that bottle, I told Salty to go grab that bottle of green goo because we didn't have the bow yet. So I'm like, go to pod, go get the GT big key, then go get your hookshot, then go to desert and get your bow later. But it just happened that getting the bow was a lot faster than using that bottle. So it was just an extra safety.
Well, oh, you mean the second bottle?
The green bottle in Village of Outcasts.
Oh, yeah. No, because the fairy bottle you clearly needed as the easiest way to help you through Spike Cave.
Yeah.
Yes. I saw that after Hookshot Cave, while he was going up to Hookshot Cave, like, hey, grab that. There's a bottle with a fairy. Apparently we needed it.
And GG's to EmoSaru here.
GG.
Woo.
Hooray.
And by the way, I just checked the league doc. I don't actually see anything in it requiring streaming of the credits, though we obviously strongly prefer people stream the credits.
Yeah. Normally I do, especially in any race I win, but maybe for this mode it's a little less of an issue. I don't know.
Wait, where's the credits, bro?
I've just been informed that the supposed winner of this race has not validated their win appropriately.
I've just been informed that you hovered for no reason, so.
That was a direct command, so I'll take the.
I hovered for a very good reason, and that was because I had already lost and it didn't matter. So
She also needs to practice, so. It's a direct order.
But you probably weren't expecting to have to do that mimic clip after the arrows despawned.
well, that was unfortunate, but it didn't really matter.
Yeah,
so,
thanks,
I mean,
Emos. That was great.
yeah. But yeah.
Seat sucked.
Yeah.
It was not.
It was terrible to route. It was like, I don't know why Emo just gets like all the bad seeds and Duck gets like the free ones. And bless Emo because she just plays her little heart out and Duck just kind of sucks. So it's I don't know what to say, man.
I have a high tolerance for idiots, as evidenced by the fact that I have invited both Duck and Solsky into my life in varying degrees, and apparently keep doing things with them. So clearly,
those heavy air quotes yesterday definitely implied something.
yeah,
Heavy air quotes.
yeah.
But good game, guys. Nice time.
Yeah,
Nice
GG. There was a lot of interesting routing decisions that I don't think either one of us made correct.
It was very hard to be correct or perfect in this one. Like, there's just too many curveballs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The good old Spike K Bonanza and like no good option to kind of go there. Yikes. That's I think that was the big wrench, was like trying to work around that, and you just kept getting into bookends of like, well, I gotta get this first, I gotta get this first. How the hell am I gonna get this? Like it was pretty.
Yeah, it was
pretty intense.
The early parts of these things, I hate them. Like literally, I hate doing this because it's
So stressful.
well, it's just like no matter which role you're in, at the beginning of the seed just feels stupidly chaotic, right? Like
Yes.
usually the beginning of the seed is like pretty like, I don't want to say chill, right? But you kind of know what you're gonna do, and you have like a line that you're gonna follow, and then you're gonna see where it takes you from there, right? Meanwhile, at the beginning of this, I'm just like, I don't know, where do you want me to go next? And I'll start going somewhere. Well, don't go there. And then I'll be like, well, you got to tell me where to go. And it's just, I don't know. It's incredibly stressful at the beginning, and I hate it. And I'm glad this week is over.
The best
And I'm
part. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm very much looking forward to getting back to weeks where I can just play the game.
Yep.
Co-op weeks are gonna be great.
Emo,
Oh, man.
all you had to do today was play the game.
Yep.
No,
That's all she had
false.
to do.
That's false. Because-
My
Well
favorite-
aware.
My favorite part was when she's in Paradox Cage. Like, where do we go now? I'm like, stall. She starts opening up compasses, dude.
I was gonna
You
say
think it
probably.
could be like heart pieces, rupees? No, it's compasses. I'm just like, oh my
I was
god.
gonna say Emo's probably the one that's directing Solsky to say, "Do this."
Yeah, I probably should have been, but like the thing, I don't know. I hate it. Like part of it is the way I play this game. Like I'm not one of those people where if you ask me at the end of the seed, like where was this thing? Like I'm gonna go check my VOD, right? Like when I'm playing, I just like I move forward. Like I move in one direction and it's forward, right? Like I'm not doing a lot of, like backwards retrospection or whatever. And so having to like listen to Solski's thought process as he's talking aloud to himself while I'm trying to like not think is like, because he plays the game very differently than I do. He thinks about this stuff very differently than I do. So it's like trying to shut off my brain while trying to ignore his brain. And it's just a nightmare.
I want to have Solski pilot me.
No, you don't.
I want to. I want to see the torture that was going through.
Absolutely despise spoiler races. Like they're my least favorite component in Rando. So
he's got a 2-pen system, though. You have to understand.
A 2-pen system. I'm like doing it on pen and paper. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm doing spreadsheets and yada yada." I'm just like, I got pen and paper, bro.
Spreadsheets. I have notepads up, and I'm just typing. All right, where are these? Where are these? Oh, type out hammer is hammer pegs. Wait, that can't be there.
Yeah. So, so the reason, just so everybody knows, so Solski, all of us hate this, by the way. So none of us hate it less than the other people. The reason that Solski is the pilot for both of us is because last season in the league, Duck and I tried an experiment where we tried to pilot each other, and we nearly murdered each other because both of us are somehow even worse at it than Solski is. So, out of necessity, Solski became the pilot for everybody because he was the only one who could even halfway keep it together during this nightmare.
Yup.
So.
It's a pretty bad scene, honestly.
Yeah,
when it gets to that.
As bad, like if you had been listening to this, you would have thought, oh, this might have been kind of a mess, right? If you had heard the practice attempts that Duck and I did last season, this is so much better. Let me tell you. So
at least you guys didn't murder each other.
Yeah, no, we're still friends. It's good. So we're good.
Yeah, I guess we just have to wait until the co-op seeds and see like if you murder each other there.
No, we already did one set of co-op, right? Like Duck and I can do co-op fine because when we're doing it's a very different thing, right? Because when we're doing co-op, we're each playing half the seed, right? Until it converges. So we're kind of off doing everything. So we can each think independently, and we just have to agree on like high level things. It's not this like super detailed like description of stuff in the same way that has to happen for this.
So I did want to ask though, the Butter Sword Silverless. Solski, did you even bother telling Emo about the silvers? And then was the Butter Sword kind of a way to troll her, or what?
No, the Butter Sword was faster. He told me about both of them. Like at the time where I realized like where it was clear where silvers were going to be, and at the point where we might have picked them up, like that was going to be a way bigger time investment than grabbing butter on the way.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about the timing and everything like that, but unfortunately, when we had to get like red came where we did, it was just like, all right, so you have two options. You go like skull to maybe silvers, or you can get butter on the way, get that crystal, and you're still redipping up the mountain anyways because that kind of route. And Butter Sword just seemed to make the most sense.
Yeah, those locations were not the best, especially with where the cape was.
Yeah, that was the big book, and like I looked like desperately for 2 bottles, but the second one was not ideal because I think it was a double dip in swamp. And I was like, no thanks.
One in Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, we got the one in Hookshot Cave, but there would have been a second one required, right, to get through Skull or Spike at the time because we didn't have enough hearts. So.
Oh, the second one was Sea-Shaped House.
Yeah.
The one that we got, at least.
Oh, that would have been convenient.
It was a green potion, though.
I had the flu. Although I didn't have much money, so...
If you didn't look, the Waterfall Fairy bottle prize is a fairy.
That would have been really nice to know, Solski.
But you also have the bug net. I mean...
I know, screw that though. I wasn't even supposed to have the bug net. That was the result of a miscommunication.
I told Salty about the bug net. He's like, yeah, I don't need it.
Emo, I just can't believe you hovered Molblorb too and then didn't do a bug net Aga.
I love my friend Sakura Tsubasa, but I am not going to start doing memes. So no.
Yeah?
The
Okay.
Bugnet Aga is a meme. I'm not going to do it.
Ah, but it's fun.
No. Well, I mean, it is the case. I like playing Swordless. If I'm playing Swordless, give me Swordless. Give me Swordless Expert, and you'll see all sorts of Bugnet Aga, but I'm not going to do it when I have a sword.
So anyway, we should probably be wrapping here.
Go for
there's
it.
nothing actually on the channel after this. But yeah, I guess, you know, we should at least, you know, look at the league moving forward as we go into Mystery Week. How are you guys all feeling for the upcoming weeks?
Yeah, pretty good. We're in pretty good spot at this point in time. Next week we got a matchup with the undefeated first place team. We'll see how that goes. If we can win those ones, we'll be in really good shape, but who knows how that
I mean, if you can sweep them, you'll be tied for first.
No, exactly. So this is, if we want to make a run for first place, next week we got to kind of go 2-0, I guess, so we'll see what happens. Hope for the best there.
Mystery can do whatever the heck it wants.
Yeah, he's not racing, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Thank God, no entrance. Get out of here.
Yeah, and Emo and Solsky, hopefully you're at least looking forward to non-spoiler modes.
Very yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the game normally.
And we got some fun mystery settings, and it'll be interesting to see how they all play out.
I'm hoping for inverted. I'm one of the few people that actually like inverted.
Salty, I never knew this. How dare you?
Worst mode.
Burn him.
Inverted
Yep.
Insanity is actually even better, if you ask me.
Worst mode.
But
Anyways.
Yeah, that said, we're actually in a little over half hour on the main SpeedGaming channel going to feature another race from the same division, which could, you know, have some implications here. Tile Roomies against the Immortals, where they had a 13-second finish last night, and if Tile Roomies wins, they're gonna put some pressure on Waffle House Drive-Thru, only a game behind them. If the Immortals wins, then Waffle House winds up with a bit of breathing room for their second place. So that should be a fun one, just to, you know, plug, stick around, come back in half an hour on SpeedGaming. And, oh yeah, let's see if the bot's working today. Yes, give the runners a follow. You know, they're both great runners. We'll be seeing a lot more of them over the next few weeks. And check them out, check their teammates out. Thanks a lot also to our tracker, Kono Tyron. And Thylian, this has been a lot of fun.
Video games, man. I love video games.
Absolutely. So you want to take us out of here?
Yeah, hey, thanks for watching, everyone. Watch more video games, play more video games, talk about video games with your friends. Have a great night.